Today in our relationship series, we are talking about two people that are in the industry, both make music, and both are trying to go for it. That can be a very difficult path to navigate. It's something I hear with my friends all the time. It always seems like one person is going a lot faster, a lot further, and the other person in the relationship starts taking that personal. And it causes for a lot of waves.
And when you do say take it personal, what have you noticed are ways that it gets taken personal?
So a lot of the things I hear is, well, I'm doing this, this, and this, and my significant other feels like I have to carry them with me. That's the biggest thing I've heard. And my advice always, and I could be wrong, is that even though you're both doing the same thing, you're both kind of responsible for your own path. And carrying your own weight, so to speak. And if you're both doing that and you have your own loads, it's really hard to, think about other things.
You're exactly right. And it can be really easy to get caught up in comparing where you're at to where your significant other is at, because, when you are in a committed relationship with someone, you commit to each other, and it's a team, but it doesn't feel like a team when one person is maybe growing faster than the other. And so it's really common that jealousy will even enter into a relationship, and jealousy is always going to be toxic in a relationship.
Always.
And so there's going to have to be some really intentional conversations around expectations of each other and around how you are feeling. When it comes to two artists who are living that lifestyle, one thing that's really important is the term emotional attunement. And what that is, it's the ability to recognize your own feelings and actions and own them, but also be able to pick up on the feelings of your significant other. You're not responsible for them, and you don't have to mind read or try to figure it out, but it's a sense of, I'm sensing that there's something off, and I want to be attuned to how you feel and understand it. Not try to talk you out of it or make you feel bad about it, but let's attune to each other.
It's just really, and I see it as being so draining. When one person is depending on another, it's draining for both parties involved. So I just feel like it's so crucial that, because you've got two people chasing this crazy dream, one in a million shot, and it's already difficult enough. So everybody's got to kind of, like you said, be in tune with each other. And establish, like, I'm responsible for me. And I will help you when I can. But I'm not responsible to totally carry you through this journey.
And the other piece of this too is you have to think about what's the cost of what I'm doing, and is it worth it? So for some people, everything's going to come with a cost, no matter what it is. And what is it costing the relationship? And you have to really kind of step back and look at that, because you may get to the top, but if it costs you things along the way,
it may not be worth it.
Then it may not be worth it, and you may find yourself not nearly as satisfied as you thought it would be, because now the people who were important in your life are no longer in your life because of how priorities weren't set, communication wasn't set up right, intimacy wasn't still happening, things like that. And so the process in which you get to where you're going is just as important as when you actually get there.
And I think that, there also needs to be a clear division between this is what we do for work. And then this is us in a relationship. Because once the water gets muddy, it's really hard to clean that up.
Absolutely. And that's, again, so much of, I feel like, what gets incorporated into these videos is boundaries, but boundaries are essential for self-care, health, and well-being. And so it's being able to say that, these are my boundaries around work. This is what I am and am not willing to sacrifice. but what are our boundaries to keep our relationship intact? What are our boundaries to create a relationship that we both want to be in? And having ongoing conversations. I don't care how long you've been together, how long you've been committed or been married. One of the biggest pitfalls is that you think you know what the other person is thinking and feeling, and you really don't.
And you know, to be honest, I think that two people doing music, or let's say pursuing acting, or any of these things, art, any of these things, I think it's actually a great situation. I think it's really beneficial because you can understand your significant other in a way that other people can't. Like, I can understand that you're having a tough day today because that song you wanted to be right wasn't right. Right. You know, whereas maybe someone else would just be like, well, try again, you know, or whatever it is. So there are so many positives.
And that's the thing. As couples, you have to play on each other's strengths. As a couple, or, you know, you're both creatives. So you might have to get creative in the relationship. But that's a strength that you have. Yeah. And so it's important to focus on the strengths you have as individual and as a couple.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
This was really good. So this is what we have for you guys. Always look to the positives. And if there are negatives, communicate. Be in tune. And build those boundaries.
Yep.
So that's what we have for you guys. Bye.